Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video coming off the heels of the release of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which right now on Steam, to be fair, it does have a mostly positive reception. 79% positive. How about that? The game, outside of the technical issues, is awesome. I mean, Snake Eater is an awesome game, and actually, I just refreshed the page, and it's all the way up to 81% very positive reception on Steam. However, I think you would be hard-pressed to say that this game is completely clear of issues. A lot of people have had issues, people have had crashes, people have had performance issues, and you know what? MGS3 is such a good game that, it overcomes a lot of people being absolutely completely down on it. MGS3 is legitimately one of the greatest video games of all time. I think people would agree with me on that, those that grew up with it. And the remake, having it, I just think it's fantastic in the sense of, outside of the technical issues, it's true to what MGS3 was. However, this would be the third back-to-back-to-back Unreal Engine 5 game that has had issues to a varying degree. And these are games that I remember in the last month or so. We've had Wushang Fallen Feathers, we've had Mafia the Old Country, and we've had Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, all running on Unreal Engine 5, all having issues to varying extents. Wushang, and again, remember with PC gaming, experiences are going to differ from people to people. Expectations are going to differ from person to person. I think that's something that we have to realize more than anything these days. There are things that are thrown around and verbiage that's thrown around about Delta Snake Eater and about other games. This game runs amazingly well for me. This game, I have no issues with it. This game is running really well. That game is running really well. Now I really want to start bringing up the point of everybody has a different opinion of what really well is. There are people out there that don't care that Delta Snake Eater has a 60 FPS cap. I get it that you can uncap it through the INI files, but for the sake of argument, there are people that say, hey, why would you want more than 60 FPS? There are people that are perfectly fine with playing games at 30 frames per second. There are people that are playing Delta Snake Eater that are dipping in frames, but they don't care. It's not bothersome to them. There are people that are playing Delta Snake Eater that have crashes every 2 or so hours of playing the game, and that's not a big deal to them because they're still having a great time with it, and ultimately that's what matters. But for those people, those various things might not be an issue. For you, it might be an issue, and that's where I feel like there is this element of the standards of what the expectations are for these PC versions. They're going lower and lower just because we've been exposed to so much garbage recently that just a game being playable, I think, is almost a W these days. Expectations vary from person to person, but as we get more and more trash PC versions or mediocre PC versions, those expectations are naturally going to fall. Generally speaking, just because more often than not, we are having so many games that do have issues. For every Stellar Blade that we get that is free of issues, and by the way, Stellar Blade is a UE4 game, so just keep that in mind, you'll get a Snake Eater, you'll get a Wushang, you'll get a Mafia Old Country, you'll get a Monster Hunter Wilds, and I really do feel like the percentage of good PC versions to bad PC versions, the ratio is just crazy these days, and again, good and bad subjective from person to person. But with that out of the way, I do want to talk about what Tim Sweeney noted on Unreal Engine 5 optimization issue. Now, I am not the person to break down UE5 from a meticulous standpoint of, oh, this is where the engine goes wrong, there's issues here, there's issues in this design of the engine. I'm not that guy. You're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy, pal. I can assess the fact that UE5 games have had a plethora of issues, and Sweeney noted the main cause is the order of development. Many studios build for top-tier hardware first and leave optimization and low-spec testing for the end. Ideally, optimization should begin early before full content build-out. We're doing two things: strengthening engine support with more automated optimization across devices and expanding developer education so optimize early becomes standard practice. If needed, our engineers can step in. He continued, gameplay complexity is much higher than 10 years ago, so it's hard to solve purely at the engine level. Engine makers and game teams need to collaborate. We're also bringing Fortnite optimization learnings into Unreal Engine so titles run better on low-spec PC. I think this would be a fine take if the issues were exclusive to low-spec PCs. That is not the case. And what do you define as a low-spec PC as well? Is my PC with an RTX 4070, is that considered a low-spec PC? I think, I'm hoping that's still mid-level, you know, you guys? I'm still hoping that's mid-level. But maybe to some, that's low-level. And that's a bottom tier PC at this stage of the game. I don't know, because we have no actual definition, but top tier hardware being optimized for, that is probably accurate, given that that's probably the machines they're working on. But at the same time, these GPUs, 5080s, 5090s are still having problems with games. My buddy has a 5080, had so many issues with Spider-Man 2 just recently, and again, it's not exclusive to just lower-end hardware. Obviously, lower-end hardware is going to be exposed to more issues, but, you know, across the board, there are issues with lower-end hardware, higher-end hardware, and I would say this, one of the biggest things that sting about PC gaming is it's one thing when a game doesn't perform well on a $500 PlayStation 5 or even a $700 PlayStation 5, although the prices have gone up, so $550 and $750. It stings exponentially more when you're talking about my buddy that spent a lot of money on his gaming PC that has a 5080 in, and Spider-Man 2 is crashing left, right, and center, and with these new release games, you gotta do all of this troubleshooting process. I swear, when Spider-Man 2 initially came out, I was damn near ready to end it all. Imagine that. You have a day, and I do this on YouTube, and I'm lucky to be in this position, but I spent like 8 hours tinkering with the settings of Spider-Man 2 on launch. Nobody should have to do that, and yes, that is a more extreme example, but that is just absolute. Like, imagine being excited for a big game like that, a Spider-Man 2, and you're just left with absolute garbage. The game's crashing left and right, and it's trash. And again, Spider-Man 2 is an extreme example, but you've had Monster Hunter Wild. I've had experiences like Mafia: The Old Country crashing 8 times in 10 hours of me playing the game, and for some people, that might be acceptable. I said in a recent video talking about Delta Snake Eater, PC Gamer, in their review, I believe they said they crashed 5 times in the span of their 20-hour playthrough. I'm like, hey, a crash every 4 hours, that's kind of acceptable. And I saw somebody in the comment section saying, bro, why are you, I'm paraphrasing here, but why are you accepting of this? A crash every 4 hours is unacceptable. And you know what? If my standards weren't in the absolute gutter these days for these versions of these games, maybe I would bug out about it, but these days when I just played Mafia: The Old Country and the game crashed 8 times in 10 hours, Don Torrisi is in the middle of popping off in a cutscene and I get hit with Unreal Engine 5 error, do you want to send crash report or whatever the case may be, and I gotta reboot the game, totally immersion killing. You know, that game was an issue. I'm like, okay, you know, 5 crashes in 20 hours, that's not all too bad. But that's, again, that's a standpoint of my standards have gone down. I'm okay these days with a couple crashes here and there because guess what? Mafia: The Old Country was crashing left and right. Wu Shang, for my buddy, crashed so bad where the game crashed and he had to uninstall and reinstall his drivers for his GPU to kick back up and start performing as normal. Like, that stuff is insane. And again, the Wu Shang issue might be an outlier and a lot of people didn't experience that. I saw somebody saying, Wu Shang ran fine. Bro, like, come on, man. The Wu Shang issues were evident across the board. Do you think that everybody else was just out to lunch and they couldn't run Wu Shang, you know, at a high level or at a good enough level, and you're just, again, these are the it runs fine for me bandits out there, you know, that's what I like to call them, the it runs fine for me bandits, because they're coming out in droves with all of these games. It doesn't matter what game, it could be the biggest pile of trash, it could be Monster Hunter Wilds with mostly negative reviews on Steam, and the it runs fine for me bandits are still gonna be out there in full force. And I get that I'm rambling a little bit and ranting a little bit, but again, while Metal Gear does have an 81% positive reception, the issues are obviously there, and I'm sure it'll get better. Konami put out a tweet that they are working on fixes. However, this is a game, and again, think about this. This is a game that Konami charged a premium $10 for you to get early access to the game. A lot of people paid that additional cost, the additional $10, and they got access to a game where Konami is totally okay with taking your money so you can get the digital deluxe edition early access. Before that early access period, they're not going to give you a product that's fully optimized. They're not going to do that. Just think about that for a second, that they're taking your money for this fake early access, but they can't even do the due diligence to give you a polished experience. And again, I think it is a lot of our standards have gotten so low, and mine have as well. When I'm talking about, 5 crashes in 20 hours ain't that bad. Yeah, it is that bad. Like, a game should not be crashing multiple times in the course of a playthrough. But again, Mafia the Old Country was like wild, whatever. And I just remember one of the cutscenes, Don Torrisi is just popping off, and they do a great job. And the voice acting in that game, I think, is exceptional. I know people are a little bit mixed on it, but then you just get hit with Unreal Engine 5 error, restart game, or send crash report, and it's just like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? This is terrible. But nonetheless, that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. I don't even know what I was trying to get at with this video, but, kind of just ranting, because when you get 3 back-to-back titles, and I'm sure there's gonna be more. We'll see how Chronos the New Dawn, that game looks incredible. We'll see how that game runs. It's running on Unreal Engine 5. Bloober Team's done really good work. I'm hoping that game's gonna be well optimized, but again, it's been an issue with so many games this year, and it's not the first year. Like, I still remember The Last of Us Part 1, Jedi Survivor back-to-back releases. Those were 2 of the worst PC ports of all time in the span of like a month. I mean, that was bad. That was bad. Trust me, I've been around the block. I've been through the Assassin's Creed Unities, the Batman Arkham Knights, the Just Cause 3s. A lot of you guys don't even remember Arkham Knight and Just Cause 3 because those games run fairly well at this stage of the game, but those games at launch were trash. So that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.